For today's video, I'll be showing you my graphic design portfolio that I used to apply to college. When I was doing this portfolio, the only projects that I have were personal projects I did on my free time. Also, I did a few graphic design work when I was back in university in the Philippines, where I used to do some posters and some merchandise for different events and seminars inside the campus. Back then, I have no professional experience when it comes to graphic design because in the Philippines, I took up economics. And I was really new in Canada at that time. I think I was only here for 1 year. So this was really a new world for me. But moving to Canada gave me the courage to try something new. So I decided to apply for a graphic design program at Georgebrown College here in Toronto. And this is the portfolio I submitted when I had to do the entrance exam for the program. To bind all of my projects, I went to Staples and asked them to bind it for me. I really like how it turned out because it's really simple and I got it for a really low price. The first project I have here is a doodle I made with the Harry Potter theme. I actually did this back in 2012, so that was like 8 years ago, and I posted this project on my Tumblr account. It had a lot of reblogs, and I think for this piece here, it reached more than 1,000 reblogs. So I was really proud of this doodle I made before. Again, this is another doodle I did, and the theme for this one is travel. Here is the actual doodle of this project. Yeah, I was really happy how this turned out because going into this project, I really have no goal in mind. I just want to try something new, and I really think it turned out great. For this piece, I experimented by using colored pencils for the sketch. The theme I had in mind was the 4 elements: fire, water, wind, and earth. To bring my own twist to it, I used Pokemon to represent these elements. This is a sketch I made for Rizal Park, which is a famous tourist spot in the Philippines. I remember that I used to go here all the time when I was still studying back in the Philippines. In doing the sketch, I wanted to try something new, so I did a landscape sketch in 3D perspective. This is a sketch I did of an anchor. As you can notice, I did a lot of sketches for this portfolio. I'm not really fond of sketching, but the program required us to include different sketches and drawings in our portfolio. So most of these sketches, I had to do this specifically for this portfolio in order to meet the requirements of the college. And here's another sketch I had. I was really fond back then of going to different places in Toronto because I was new here. So that was the theme for this project, where I had combined different tourist spots here in Toronto, like the CN Tower, Nathan Phillips Square, and the AGO, or Rome, sorry, here. This was a really fun project that I did back when I was in university. This is actually a personal project. The goal for this one is mainly to create a t-shirt for my group of friends back then. I remember this was the first project I did in Illustrator. So before this, I really don't know how to use Illustrator. So I had to learn on the way. Here are the initial sketches I did for this project. I also wanted to show my process here when I was doing the drawings before I even put them in the program. As you can see here, you can see my initial sketches I did for this project. And this is the actual sketch I used for this project. In doing these sketches, I really wanted to highlight the different personalities that my friends have. So for example, they really know me as a sleepyhead, so they see me sleeping all the time in and out of class. So my picture here is a picture of me sleeping. Then one of my friends here, who is really a solid fangirl, so I drew her holding a tarpaulin. Yeah, and this brings back a lot of memories. I really miss these guys. This is a poster I did for a seminar called Sense That Makes Sense. This poster is actually the very first poster I did, and I can still remember how proud I am when I saw this poster on our bulletin board. And looking back, I would still say that I'm still proud of it. It may not be one of my best works, but for me this turned out great considering I have no background in design when I made this. November of 2014, some of my friends joined a conference. It's called the 12th Economics Asian Economic Challenges that was held in Jakarta, Indonesia. My friends and I wanted to make something to congratulate them, so I did this poster in Photoshop. I also posted this on my Facebook account and it really surprised them. This poster is for a seminar called Poverty Reduction with an emphasis on the national budget. As a class, we had to hold a seminar and I was tasked to make a poster for the event. The icons I chose are based from the topics that will be discussed during the seminar. This is another project I did back in the Philippines. So for the different events inside the Economic Society, we had to find different sponsors for it. So this is the sponsorship proposal we hand out to potential sponsors. As you can see here, we listed the different kinds of packages that our sponsors could choose from. I would say that my favorite part of this design is the Our Mission and Vision page. But if I was to redo this again, I would probably reduce the amount of color I use and maybe even remove the texture on the background. We needed to print this proposal, so we had problems when our budget only allowed us to print in black and white. This is the merchandise that I did for my program, which is economics. I created a design for hoodies and t-shirts that come in 3 different colors. If I have to pick a favorite in this portfolio, I guess this would be it. Looking back, this may be one of the reasons why I fell in love with design. Every time I see people post on social media wearing this shirt or hoodie, it still makes me smile. It makes me happy when I see people actually using my design or even becoming a part of their lives. And right now, I'm actually wearing the hoodie that I designed back then. I also have the t-shirt that I designed back then, so I got the navy blue version. Here you go. I actually like how this turned out, especially the printing that they did with the gold here. It actually gives it a more premium feel, and this was not what I was expecting, but I really like it. Unfortunately, this one doesn't fit me now. I just keep this for memories. And here's the design we had for the back. You will notice that the next few pieces I have will all be related to photography. I was actually really into photography before, and for me this is a good way of showing my range when it comes to my work, so I included a lot of photos inside my portfolio. This is a photo of a jeepney on the streets of Manila. I took this on Manila Day of 2015. This was during a time when I got really into this kind of photo editing, where you make the background into black and white and leaving the subject in full color. I like this technique because it gives the image a lot of contrast and it also highlights the main subject inside my photo. Next is the photo I took at the Lucky Chinatown Mall. Fun fact, I actually entered this image to a photo contest with the team of small and medium enterprises. I entered it to the cellular phone category and I only took this with my Nokia 3120 phone, so it was a really old phone of mine. Surprisingly, I won first place for it. The next 2 projects I have here were actually photos I took when I was going around Manila. My goal here was to create postcards for different tourist spots in Manila. As you can see here, here's an example. For this one is Rizal Park. Again, this photo came from the same series as before, so this is the postcard for Intramuros now. When everyone was talking about Game of Thrones, I decided to join the bandwagon. I really liked it, so I binge-watched a few seasons of the series. I ended up liking House Stark, even though the odds were against them during this time. So I made a fan art with each member's famous quotes from the series. I posted this on my Facebook page and one of my friends really liked it. She told me that we should print it out and make bookmarks from it. And of course, I said yes. And now I still have one of the bookmarks that we printed back then, right here. I've been using this for a long time now. Here I have the bookmark with Robb Stark in it, which is my favorite character during that time. But we all know what happened to him. This is the last piece in this portfolio. This is actually a special project that the college asked us to do when applying for the program. So basically, the brief says that we have to create an ad for Georgebrown College School of Design. One thing to keep in mind is we have to highlight the different programs under the School of Design. It's really fun looking back at the projects I've done before. I think it's really a great way for me to see where I came from and look at how far I've come now. I did this portfolio 4 years ago and a lot has happened since then. So I'm really happy to look back on it right now. And that is all I have for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more graphic design videos like this, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.